Alright, let's see what we can do to that jacket, because the jacket looks awful now. So we have mirror modifier, let's disable it. Okay, only half jacket, very fashion. We can disable and enable modifiers, as you can see from here. This little thing is that we will use the modifier during render. So if we press F12 to render, which will not happen probably because we don't have a camera. Oh, we have a camera, so we can render. Let's press F12. F12 is rendering. Now we see the head and everything because they are not excluded from render, and the camera is exactly in this position. Of course we can move it and everything, but yeah, so this is about that. If we don't want to render certain modifier, we can disable it from render. But the idea here is that to see what kind of modifiers we have, let's add another modifier, subdivision surface. Usually I'm using all those modifiers combined. So first mirror modifier, solidify, and then subdivision, especially for clothes and such. This is the modifiers that I'm using usually. So now what I will do is I will increase at least to 3 the levels of the subdivision. It looks relatively fine. Edge data, of course, on the solidify modifier, as you know, we will change it to crease a little bit like this. Okay, and if we want here those corners to be sharp, we can increase the rim also. But increasing the rim has some things. So you see here on the sleeves, when I decrease the rim, it's fine. When I increase the rim, it's starting to be angular. That's why I don't do this usually. I don't increase the rim. The rim is okay for now. We will fix it later. It's not the best, but we will fix it later. What we need to do here is go to edit mode and start adding crease on certain areas. For example, I go to tool, which is my edge select. I select this edge, all this edge here, and now I want to sharpen it a little bit. So how to do this? Shift E and then just move your mouse and see on the top left corner you see crease. Oh, we don't see file, edit and render, but it's not needed. I mean, I will fix it. But crease is 0.4. It's okay. 0.4 is okay. I will move this so we can see file and everything. Although I told you we don't need it to see it that much. I want to crease this too. Let's try crease a little bit. Not too much, just 0.3 is okay. Here definitely need a crease in this area. So with Alt Z I'm showing to see, because you know the subdivision modifier will make it so that we cannot see some of our edges. But if we disable it, we can see them. But we enable it in order to see the crease. So now I will Shift E and crease this. In order to select a loop, of course, double click on the loop and you will select it. But this crease, I did it in about 0.35 or something like this. So 0.35 should be enough of a crease. So we need to be able to crease also this edge here, but we have to, in order to do that, we have to enable, or not enable, apply the solidify modifier. If we don't apply the solidify modifier, we will not be able to do this. And yeah, I'm not ready to apply it yet. At some point we will. It's not a problem. We will, and it will be great. It will be even amazing. But for now, let's leave it like this. I will move this GG because I want those edges to be the same distance from each other, relatively the same, because some are closer to others and stuff like this, which I don't like for now, because later it will be a problem, probably at some point, and it will be, definitely. So here, let's see, we also want those edges to be kind of in the same distance from each other, although this in the back here we see have a big distance. But what I will do is I will get this edge close to this edge with by moving it with G, and then Control R to add another edge at the back, and I will just move it a little bit. We can move it with G, just select some dot and move it with G, and like this. And here I see that this can't prove a little bit problematic, because here we have not only one edge going up, but two edges connecting in this area. I usually don't like that, and but this time we can let it pass because it's in the back. It shouldn't pose a big issue. It shouldn't pose a threat to our existence. Now I will select this and try to select all this loop here to crease it. Hopefully I will be able to. But even if I'm not, it's fine. Okay, Alt Z, and now Shift E and just crease it. And this will be the corner between the blue part and the white part. So the white part are the sleeves, and the blue part is the jacket itself, and it's looking much better than before, I think. Let's concentrate ourselves on the pants. The pants are a little bit interesting. Or let me just finish here real quick. So let me see if the thickness of this is enough. The thickness of this jacket for 3D print, I mean, because yeah, maybe a little bit thicker. Yeah, a little bit thicker will be nice. I love it. Now it's fine. Let's go to edge data again and just a little bit increase this to 0.4. 0.4, I think it's the best. And now I will apply the solidify modifier. When we apply the solidify modifier, we can go then in edit mode, select some of the edges we want to sharpen. I'm selecting them with shift, just shift select them, and then shift E and just drag a little bit, and they will become sharper. Until 0.5 should be enough. And now we have sharper angles, and they look awesome. At least they look relatively fine. Now, since this is enough, let me just save this as a 13. Always save, very important. For the pants, what I say is we don't need thickness of the pants. What do I mean by that? In the top part of the pants, we will not see ever how thick they are, because they are inside the shirt and everything. We don't see them there. The bottom part, we see them, but we never see from below. That's one thing. And also we can fake it. So we will not put here the modifier in question, which is the solidify modifier. First, I will go, because I see here we have issues. I will just fix this real quick with the grab brush in scope mode. How do you get to scope mode? You should know already. But if you don't, you should refer for some of the shortcuts that I'm showing. Most of them should be in the shortcut file. Let me show you the shortcut file, by the way, because maybe some of you haven't seen the shortcuts file. So this is the shortcuts file, and we see how these are the normal keys with which move. Shift A, add object, and stuff like this. Control Alt numpad 0 is camera to viewport, but this we haven't done yet. There are not too many shortcuts, as you can see, because I am trying to make the shortcuts which are essential, which are these ones, to just make them a little bit narrow them as much as possible. You see, control tab, and control. Yeah, it's a mistake. It's not control, it has to be control. But whatever, sometimes even I make mistakes, and it's a nice thing, because this is more custom with this mistake, So control tab is your pie menu for changing mode, as I show here. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Now let's continue with our pants. For the pants, what I need to do is the following. I will go with my question mark key and just show this. Now, for the top part, I need to make one bridge in here. So I will just select this and this, which are the end, edges. And I can press right click and bridge edge loops. Let's try that. So bridge edge loops. is here, bridge edge loops. The other thing I might do is select them and press F. And this should do the same, but I'm not sure if F, in this case, will work only if you have in Edit Preferences, the F2 add-on turned on. So F2, if Mesh F2 is on, in Add-ons, in Preferences, so go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, F2, right here in the search window F2, and Mesh F2, just turn it on. And if it's turned on, you should be able to do this. Select this, and then Shift select this, and then press F, and it should work. And then you select only this, the inner here, and press F, 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 F. And it should fill it, you know. So we have now filled the top portion. What I need to do now is select all of these, but select the first one and Control select the last one, so all of them selected, and then I press I. And then, by the way, let me see. So we see that the boundary between the mirrors now is kind of inset. If I press B, it should fix it. And now it's better. B. So pressing B, then B again. You see how the boundary between, and you see up there, in just below the file editor, you see the shortcuts. They're outset. It's O, boundary is B, individual is I. If we want individual, I will press I, and they will be individual. But we don't want. We want it like this. Then we go to the bottom, and what I do is double press here with edge mode selected. So double press here to select the whole edge loop, and press F. And that's it. And then I will press I to inset. And this will be our thickness. But I will press S to scale it a little bit, so more thickness. Then I can do two things. Either I can insert again and move it up, or I can just extrude with E and then move it up. And this will fake that we have thickness of our trousers, which is great. I mean, yeah, it sounds fine. Here I can add another edge loop with Control R and move it up. I can add another with Control R in here too. Those edge loops are important, and I'm adding them all over the place, because if we add multi-res modifier on this mesh, then it will be easier to add our wrinkles or folds, for that matter. So yeah, maybe it sounds a little bit, you know, harsh, but it should work. Now let's go and add subdivision surface modifier, increase it to 3, and it's looking great. But those things are a little bit soft, so let's go to edit mode, double click, shift double click. The areas we want to make not so soft, I will shift double click, and then I will just shift E to crease them. And I'm looking at the crease in the upper left corner, and when it goes to 0.45, 0.4, I just click the left mouse button to apply it, because I don't need more crease than that. More crease than that is not a healthy crease. If you do it more than 0.5, your crease, it will be too sharp and you will suffer. And your model will suffer, everyone will suffer. Maybe everyone you love will suffer also. We don't know that, but I'm assuming that that will be the case. Of course, we have no idea if this will be the case, because this is absurd, you know. But anyway, we have to be careful with the crease. Now the model is starting to look relatively fine. It's starting to look relatively good. We can't pay our attention to the hair because it still looks awful. It's not smooth, of course. So to smooth it, let's add a subdivision surface modifier and increase it to 3. And now it's smooth. I think this hair even is good. And it could work, for that matter. It could work. We don't need to remesh it, for example, because sometimes we need to remesh. But in this case, I think it's pretty good, and we can leave it as it is. The hair itself. For the ears, I'm not sure we have to leave the ears as they are. Maybe we have to move them a little bit on some side, although they're not looking bad. I mean, the ears are looking relatively fine. But overall, I'm thinking that the body is fine. Maybe the shoes are a little bit small. How to make them bigger? Go to object mode, select the shoe with the legs, remove with control the legs from the shoes, and now we can increase the size of the shoes by pressing S and increasing them. But this will not be very nice. So Control Z. What we want is to put this down here. So let's go to the tool. Let's press origin. So to the tool menu here. And when we press origins here, we can move this down and move it where, oops, no. Don't move the origin to either side because you will mess up the mirror. So I will put it here, and maybe I can move it backwards also. I can move it back and forward, but and up and back and forward, but I cannot move it sideways because you see what happens when I move it sideways. It's not good. So Control Z, and I will disable the origin now, and let's press S to scale. This looks fine, and now I will try. Now I will move the origins in order. Okay, it's not a good idea because it will not move the whole thing. So I need to move. Okay, I will press Tab, press A, and then move. Okay, this will enter the edit mode for all the objects at the same time. And now when I move them, they will move with this. So bigger boots, I think, are a little bit better for this character. Let me see. Let's see them from... yeah, I think those bigger boots are bigger than before. Definitely. Bigger boots are bigger. But I think they're a little bit better. Also, we can make this bigger. So I select it, go to edit mode, and S, scale it. Yeah, scaling it should work. But then we have to go to sculpt mode and just fit it inside the sleeve. Or get the sleeve to fit outside them. That's also another option. The arms themselves we can fix. By the way, here on the jacket I noticed some big issue in the back. So let's fix it. Let's go to the jacket. Let's go to the question mark. And here we see that because of the mirror and everything, we have a problem here. So I will disable the mirror. And what I will do, I want to delete all those polygons from here to here. So I select them with control clicking on the first one and the second one. So click the first one, control click the second one, X faces. Now they are deleted. Now let's see what happens. Alright, now I think it's almost done, but probably we need to move this a little bit. No, it doesn't move. It's interesting because here we shouldn't have this kind of a problematic thing going on. Just shouldn't. Not sure what is this all about. But let's see, the subdivision modifier, okay. The clipping is there, which is great. So I will move this subdivision, okay. Yeah, sometimes because of the clipping this happens, but it's still fine. Let's move it here and there. It's fine. It's cool. Okay. We'll press the question mark key. And now we have almost all of our objects. Like the hair, like the ears. Everything is smooth except for the shirt. But the shirt is, yeah, we can smooth it also, and we will at some point. But let's select it first, because if we don't select it, we cannot smooth it. Now I selected it. It doesn't have modifiers, which is interesting. Yeah, because I applied, I think, the modifiers on the shirt. And the shirt, I did it a little bit messy. It wasn't supposed to be like this. So I'm gonna try to fix it. So for the shirt, I need it to be... it is. So, okay. It doesn't have thickness, and that's what I want. I don't want thickness on the shirt. I want it to be a one solid object. And that's what it is. So it's cool. I will add just one edge loop in here with Control R. And maybe I will add another here, or I will just adjust it here by hand. Yeah, this will be our color, which is great. And let's add subdivision surface modifier, increase it to at least 2 or 3. And then the body itself, which we don't particularly want to have, but we have it anyway, so it's fine. I will, let's see now. Now, we have the jacket, we have the shirt. The shirt should be a little bit shorter than the jacket, as in the concept, so I will do that. Then the pants should go a little bit more up, so I will go to edit mode and move them a little bit up. And that should be it. Then we go to the body and push it in, because we don't want it. We don't want the body. Yeah, but the body should be there, because at some point we want the body. What I mean by that? I want the body to be there, to connect everything. So when we 3D printed it, we want something to connect them, because otherwise it will be problematic if we don't have something connecting everything. So let's go to the body. Let's see what the body looks like. Yeah, it's not the best body ever. I will Control R, add one more loop in here, one more loop in this area, and this body should be okay for subdivision surface modifier. Okay. Now you see I'm pressing Alt Z sometimes just to see the polygons better. And then I go back and stuff like this. This is how I do it. Now the jacket will go a little bit low. And I think we are in a good position. Here in the back, the jacket doesn't look quite well. But hopefully, at some point when we... Let's put the subdivision above the mirror and see if it fixes it. It fixes it, but it creates another issue. But it fixes the other issue, which is great. But at some point when we apply the mirror modifier, this should be all behind us. And probably if we even go here and apply the mirror modifier, let's see the subdivision. Okay. Yeah, we have a crease in here in the middle, which we shouldn't have. So I will select this, double click, select it. This is problematic here because it's not connected. I will M at center. You know, if we want to connect, I'm zooming in, and I want to select those and connect them. We can right click. Let's right click and merge vertices, which is M at center, for example, in this case, and they will merge at center. But also what we can do is just select them with shift and then M at center, then select the other ones that we want to fix here and here. Although those inner, but we want M at center and so on. We want them all to be selected and connected. Okay, I connected all of those that I want, but also I want to select the whole edge loop. And now I can, because everything is connected, and I want to Shift E and crease it at minus. So I will try to move it so it's minus 30, minus 40, minus 45. Let's try it like this. I think this is enough for it to look good. Yeah, it's completely perfect now. It's not perfectly perfect, but it's good enough. I will just smooth it. By the way, I will turn on the symmetry because we need the symmetry, and that's it. I will smooth this area here with symmetry on. It should be just perfect, and it is. So here in the back, usually what we like for the jacket is to have something like a sharp angle, which I don't know why I cannot do. Because I'm not in the grab mode. Yeah, we need something like an elbow. And let's see, where is this elbow? We don't have it. We don't have an elbow in here. Okay, we will not have an elbow at this point. It's fine. Maybe at some point when we apply the subdivisions on the jacket, we can have an elbow. Now we don't have it. But I can move those things up. I can adjust some things. And when at some point we apply our subdivisions, this subdivision modifier, when we apply it, then we will be able to make details if we want. But before that, we want to have those details on the collar because they are interesting details. I like to have them. So yeah, 25 minutes into this video, we are, you know, making things, which is great. We are doing things. So we are in a good position. Let's try to do something in this area. So what I want to do here is make this kind of stripes, but I want to make them with geometry. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we will try. Why not? How to do this? That's a different story altogether. But what I think that we might do is add one Control R here, just until the bottom. And then above it, we can select and select those with Shift. Select just half of them. And then Control B to make them double, like this. I'm just trying things here. And then one more loop with the scroll wheel. I'm just a little bit scroll and that's it. And this should work for now. Let me just try to select this one, then Shift one after another, just leaving some behind, and then I will extrude them. It doesn't work as intended. Let me Alt E to extrude face along normal. This should work. Then Shift E to crease them. Too bad. Yeah, I was thinking that this could work, but obviously it's not gonna work perfectly. So I will abandon this idea. With Control Z, I should be able to go back. Before you're doing such stupid things, you have to save. Usually we need to save. So save often, because otherwise you will suffer often. Save it on a separate file, because sometimes you will need to do something and then it will not work and you will have to redo it. But in this case, we should be able to do something that works. Let me think. Yeah, the same thing that I did should work, but we should do it a little bit more careful. So again, let me Control R, add another loop in here, close to the top, and then select again those guys, not with Control, with Shift, select them. I'm trying again the same thing, but I have saved, so careful. Control B, and then make sure it's like this. All right, now we have those, which is great. It looks fine. Now, this is not exactly close to the other one as I want it to be. I want the same distances between those things. Now I will select this one. Let me show you a trick. So I select the first one, Control select the last one. This is just half of it. And then if we want to checker select it, we have to go to Select, checker deselect. And now it will select only, you know, just deselect some of them and select the others. Now I will press Shift Alt E, and then extrude faces along normals. And then we will extrude this like the other time. It's amazing. Now I will press Control R and add just 2 edge loops. And those edge loops I will try to, no, I will add just one edge loop, but I will push it up, and the other edge loop I will push it down. This way I will have exactly what I need. And this is what I need. Now I will go to the sculpt mode and I will try to fix it. Of course, it will not be enough probably, but Let's try it. This one is very small, so we can, in the sculpt mode, we can try to make it bigger here, because it's too small and ugly. In the sculpt mode, I'm just moving and trying to make it at least to look a little bit like the other ones. Alright, this looks good. And now what I can do to make sure this comes to the other side too is symmetrize. So symmetrize is a thing that we have to know in Blender in sculpt mode. It works in sculpt mode. What symmetrize will do is take from one side of the object and copy it to the other side, the same thing. So in this case, this is minus X, where we have the detail. This is plus X, that we don't have the detail. So if we go here in the upper corner and we have this window just above the window that we have for the symmetry, we have symmetrized from minus X to plus X, exactly what we need. So symmetrize. If you're, and it's done. If your symmetry is other, then you have to just go here and change it. You can change it to plus X to minus X and vice versa and whatever. What I did here is cool, but I don't like it. So I will Control Z again and try to go back. But since my I did it. Ooh, I have a lot of undo levels. Let me see how much undo levels I have. I have a lot of them. So go to Preferences, System maybe, undo steps 70. By default I think there are 35, I'm not sure. But if you go to Preferences, Edit, Preferences, System, you can increase your undo steps to around, yeah, 70 usually should be okay. If you increase it too much, it could, you know, mess up with your machine, which is not good, which is not the best. So this, I don't like the color, and also the thing here on the sleeve. So we have to figure out a way how to do them, and probably I will do them with separate mesh. This will be for the best, I think, to do them separately, both these and this. But let's do this in the next video.